Good morning, everybody. Shark coming at you again. Even though it's in the morning, I couldn't even wait for the sun to come up to chew on your ears a little bit. Let you know that in the 80s, when I was growing up as a young kid, we used to always see PSAs. That's public service announcements. For those that don't know what a PSA is or think it's something else. And these PSAs would tell us, don't do drugs. It was like non-stop too. It was a constant don't do drugs thing too. It wasn't like don't do drugs, kids, like one time every couple of months. It was like all the time, especially on Saturday morning when they had the most awesomest, bitchinest cartoons ever, and now the cartoons suck. You know why the cartoons suck? Because all those people did drugs anyway. You know why the Democrats suck now? Because all them motherfuckers probably did drugs. The Kavanaugh hearings are this morning. I can guarantee you these women in college and high school drank and did drugs. They act like they're such angels. The Democrats treat these people with kid gloves. They act like they're such angels. Oh, they're such angels. We need to believe them. I don't play that listen and believe bullshit. Okay? There's evidence. Give me the evidence. You know? I think every woman in this country should be completely and utterly disgusted with these women that are making these accusations, especially 30 years later. And this is what I mean by don't do drugs, right? Because drugs fuck your head up. This is what drugs makes weak-ass people like the Democrats and these socialists and communists and shit. That's what drugs does. You know, they keep telling us not to do drugs. Like, I'm looking around the political landscape and I'm looking around just, the social landscape of America. I know it's dark in here, guys, but it's unreal, man. Now I can guarantee you that all these kids are out there like, resist. First of all, they don't know what the hell they're talking about. Second of all, they ain't nothing but a bunch of sheeple going along with the crowd. They're followers. When you see these people out there, they ain't nothing but a bunch of brain-dead idiots. And the Democrats, let me explain something about them. Democrats don't give a fuck about anybody but themselves. And I mean, if this isn't blatantly apparent by now, then their brainwashing of you, the individual who thinks they're actually fucking working in your best interest, that's on you, right? But they pump these kids, like, when I was going to school, you might have had, like, I don't know, one or two kids in the whole freaking school. One or two kids might be on some sort of, like, calm down drug, right? But they actually needed it, right? And there was a couple of friends of mine that had epilepsy, right? So they had, and it wasn't like a mild form, right? So yeah, they needed to have medication, right? And this medication made them, slow. Not slow like, Short but slow, but it just made them, it like almost sedated. And I don't know, man. It's like nowadays, it just seems like they just hand out these mind-altering drugs like candy. Oh, your kid's hyper. Well, it used to be called your kid's hyper, right? Excuse me. And then your dad would come home and beat your ass, and then you wouldn't be hyper anymore. See, that's how that worked. Because dad had other shit to worry about. Uh, and he didn't have time to be worried about you screwing up in school. He wanted you to. It was called personal accountability. It's like dad would come home and say, "Look, I got enough crap to worry about. I don't need to worry about something as simple as you go to school, behave yourself, and get good grades." That was a given. It was expected, right? But now, you got all these single mothers out here. They can't handle kids by themselves. They can't. Okay, that's why you're supposed to have two parents, because they can't handle kids by themselves. They take them to the psychologist or the psychiatrist, whatever. I don't know what the fuck's the difference. If anybody can tell me what the difference is, they're both hacks. Now this Ford lady that's accusing Justice Kavanaugh, I might as well call him Justice Kavanaugh because, he's going to get confirmed. She is a psychiatrist or a psychologist, some sort of fucking professor, right? Of some sort of, she's supposed to understand the human mind, right? How can you understand the human mind? You don't even understand your own. Here's a good example. You're just sitting in your house, and all of a sudden you think of some weird shit, that you haven't thought of in years. Like, one day I was like sitting there, and I'm like, I wonder what happened to all them, them wheeled warrior figures I used to own, It's like, but I mean, normal people don't think about, I wonder, that one party I went to, was I sexually assaulted? If you were, look, if you're sexually assaulted, okay, you remember shit. You don't just block that shit out. Everybody's like, oh, well, it's a mental block and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, bullshit, man. She can remember that he did it, but she can't remember nothing else. Then you have a second accuser. See, this is the problem. See, they did this. This is my opinion, but they did the same thing with Bill Cosby, right? A woman, oh, he did something to me, blah, blah, blah. The media fucking pushed the hype. It was complete media hysteria, and then all these other women came out of the woodwork. They sat on TV and smiled and sold their books about their traumatic rape event with Bill Cosby, which was absolutely disgusting. And the DA got Bill Cosby on some bogus ass shit that he said during a deposition that was sealed because he didn't have nothing else to convict the man on. Right? I didn't believe any of them either. Right? It was really convenient, the timing that they came out and everything. See, that's another thing. A lot of weak-minded individuals like being the victim. Strong-minded individuals won't be a victim, right? So like a strong woman, a woman that is strong and can stand on her own, she ain't gonna let no fucking man sexually assault her and get away with it. So, all these feminists, they're such a joke, man. They're like, we're weak and we're helpless, but we want everything. See, you know what they are, man? It's like they want, they keep saying, well, we want what men have. No, you don't. Fucking, that's the last fucking thing you want. Accountability, responsibility. You don't want none of that shit. You want all the benefits that we work hard for and the privileges that we work hard for. You want all that, but you don't want any accountability, no responsibility, no nothing. You still want men to treat you chivalry. You still want chivalry, but you want everything that men have. You're full of shit. You're a woman when it's convenient, and you're a feminist when it's convenient. Everything is with a woman is about convenience nowadays. See, a woman will get in a dude's face. See, like these women get in guys' face, and they'll hit on them and smack them and hit them and shit. Then the dude will haul off and pop them. But see, they was big and bad. Till that dude popped him in the face. Then all of a sudden they're a weak, helpless woman. Help me, how dare you hit a woman? I can't stand women like that. Because that's not a strong woman. You're weak. You're weak-minded. You think you can just go up and start shit with somebody and physically fucking assault them and nothing's going to happen to you because of your vagina status. That's bullshit, man. It's like you want to go up and fuck with somebody and you get your ass kicked, that's on you. See, that's the way we grew up, man. Look, if you went up, and it was, sometimes it was all fun and games, and we understood. See, that was the thing, too. We understood what was fun and games and what wasn't. Right? But nowadays, you got, this Blasey Ford lady. You can tell that she's already a weak woman because, and you can tell that she married a weak ass cuck boy too, because she kept her last name and just kind of added his last name on there or something, right? So, this is the result of feminism. This toxic feminism. That's exactly what it's the result of. It's toxic feminism. There is no toxic masculinity problem in this country. Right? Oh, there's toxic femininity. For sure. I mean, you created nothing but a bunch of paranoid, weak-minded women that if they don't get their way, this is they'll scream whatever. They'll scream misogyny, they'll scream sexism, they'll scream, some form of discrimination, and then when they really gotta hit rock bottom, they'll scream sexual assault. It's disgusting. Because there's sex. See, and I said this before in previous videos, you hurt women when you do shit like this. Because now, even more men out there are going to distrust, anybody of the female persuasion. They're going to distrust them. You're like, I'm a survivor. This is the same women that want to make looking at a woman rape. If you look at a woman the wrong way, it's rape. They want you thrown in jail, right? And then there'll be a survivor. And one time, this guy looked at me. It's unbelievable. This is why I say don't do drugs. Because these drugs also, what people don't seem to understand. You're doing drugs and you have kids, they affect your kids because you're on drugs and you're having kids while you're on drugs. This isn't nothing but a revenge thing for Blasey. Whatever the case may be, because her parents' house was foreclosed on by Kavanaugh's mom, or she had the hots for him back in high school, but he wouldn't show her the time of day. And trust me, I looked at the picture. I wouldn't have shown her the time of day either. It's like, she had all that money, What was that chick from 90210, the ugly one, man? She's like uglier than her. You know, it didn't matter that she had the Farrah Fawcett hair and all that other shit. She was still fucking butt ugly. And she's butt ugly now. You know, that's another thing I don't understand. You see all these ugly... I never see really good-looking women accusing all these men of all this nonsense, especially if they're conservative. I don't see good-looking conservative women don't do shit like that. You know, first of all, most good-looking conservative women that believe in the United States and believe in our Constitution, they're not going to be sexually assaulted because they got the Second Amendment, baby. You know, if some man try to sexually assault them, they'll shoot him in the dick. And rightfully so. You get all these fat, ugly chicks, man. It's like they want to accuse everybody. There was a story in England about some fat, ugly chick running around saying all these men raped her. And they believed her. Come to find out, she was a fucking lying piece of fucking human garbage. You know, and men being locked up because of this listen and believe bullshit. I don't believe nobody, right? I listen to your story, but I sure as hell ain't gonna just listen and believe. Fuck that shit. That's not how our justice system works, man. You gotta listen and weigh the evidence. That's how our justice system works. Somebody brings an accusation forward, the burden of proof is on the accuser, not the person being accused. Because if, you know, and trust me, man, it's like, I think men that sexually assault women, they're some low fucking scum, man. You know, as far as I'm concerned, I would not bother housing these people in a prison unit. They should get a short drop and a sudden stop. You know, a lot of people, you know, they keep saying that the death penalty is inhumane. No, it isn't. For these dregs of society that do shit like that, but you got a dude. Kavanaugh is not some unknown dude that is just like, they just picked him out of like some random court in the middle of Kansas somewhere and said be on the Supreme Court, right? He's been in the government for quite some time, right? And all this time, she never said a damn thing about anything, right? She shows no signs of PTSD. You know what she said? You know, they keep saying she's showing signs of PTSD and all this. So this is another thing that disgusts me about feminism. You know, they're like, they take something as serious as PTSD, okay, and they minimize it into, you know, so that they, you know, so they can get victim points, right? There was some feminist bitch online talking about she had PTSD because people left nasty comments to her. Oh my God, I'm traumatized because some people said something to me. The fucking people, you know, boy, you would have probably killed yourself. You had to grow up where I did. You know, holy shit. You can't take some harsh comments, man. Fucking hell, man. You would have never made it in my neighborhood. We was fucking playing the dozens on the fucking daily. And we were friends. Shit, you don't want to play that shit with people that don't like you. Trust me, man. It's like, you know, the average... This is another thing. It's like, I'm fucking sick and tired with the Democratic Party is they act like they're so holier than thou, you know, attitudes. You know, like, oh, we are so righteous and morally correct. Well, who the fuck made you the barometer of morality? Especially people like fucking Hillary Clinton. Fuck that bitch. I wish she'd go away. Her and fucking, you know, Big Mike and Barry. Fucking go away. Always trying to stay relevant. And that Michael Avenatti guy, man, I tell you, he's a piece of fucking work, man. if you want to really put our tax dollars to work, man, you start sicking the fucking FBI on all these people, man. Dig up their fucking dirt. I can guarantee you they don't want. You know what? It's like I agree to an FBI investigation. I'd be like, yeah, sure, FBI investigation. We're gonna FBI investigate Christine Blasey Ford too, to make sure that she's not some sort of fucking mental, just making shit up. Why'd you delete all your social media, Christine? Huh? Why'd you hire a bunch of lawyers and shit? This all reeks of pre-planned, prepaid bullshit. This is exactly what this reeks of, man. And they did it to Clarence Thomas too, man. Of course, then again, it didn't hold no water then either. Anita Hill come out and he sexually harassed me. You notice that their accusations are so ambiguous and and it's like, it's just like anybody can just fucking point their finger and make an accusation. All of a sudden, it's like, and it's a matter of convenience too. Because Keith Ellison, that piece of shit, this woman that's accusing him of domestic battery and all this other kind of thing, she has all kinds of evidence, but they turn a blind eye to all that crap. You know why? Because he's a Democrat. He's one of them, man. It's okay. If you're a Democrat, like Bill Clinton and Keith Ellison and, who was that other jackass? He actually stepped down. I'll give him that. And the Saturday Night Live idiot. I don't even know why anybody would have even elected the guy. It's like you were on Saturday Night Live, man. It's like, I'm not gonna fucking take you seriously. Let's investigate all them. But you don't have to investigate Bill Clinton. Hillary Clinton is a liar, okay? She's a straight up liar. She sat there and she bashed and dragged all them women through the mud in the 90s. Didn't nobody listen to them and believe the accusations that were being levied against her husband, right? But all of a sudden, we gotta fucking believe, we gotta listen and believe because it's a conservative. I'm dead set convinced that they're just against anybody. They're against anything good and righteous in the world. And Chuck Schumer, man, you know what? I cannot believe, it's like this guy, does this guy understand that there's such a thing as video cameras? Does he understand that video cameras and recordings exist of him saying the same fucking things that Trump has been saying, but it's okay when he said it, right? Take that turn. He said the same things about immigration and all kinds of shit. Now all of a sudden it's inconvenient to say those things. He has to play up to his base and tell them what they want to hear. And I got something to say to that so-called representative to Hawaii. Hey, bitch, you shut the fuck up. How about that? You shut the fuck up and do the right thing for a change. Because I can guarantee you probably never did the right thing your whole fucking life. You talk like that. One thing I'll give the Democrats, they got some fucking balls, man. They're stupid. It's like, but they got some balls. Nobody fucking taking them seriously. And I'll be honest with you, it's like, this is going to hurt them in the midterm. They think that, they're gaining some brownie points with their supporters. You pushing good people away. Because even Democrats, look, I know a lot of Democrats, and I know a lot of people that didn't vote for Trump. They thought I was crazy. They still my friends, right? Because that's what being adults about. You know, you should be able to disagree with your friends and still be friends. That's called being an adult, you know. But my friends didn't. I'm not voting for the Democrats. And I look at them like they was crazy, you know, because they've been liberal Democrats since, 30 years ago, you know. They see all this BLM crap and Antifa and the violence at the Trump rallies, all this other crap. They didn't vote for you, Hillary. They didn't like you. And they're Democrats. And they hated your face, right? Most of them didn't vote at all, which is, I frown upon. I think everybody should vote in this country. That's why I say don't do drugs, man. But see, this is the result of all this drugs. All this drug use and all that kind of shit. This is the result. Now we got all these weak-minded people. We got these weak-minded victims. We got representatives that say one thing, do a complete opposite because, they're probably on drugs. Who knows? I don't know. I don't know personally. They could be on drugs, though. Anybody that talks like that, though, you got to question, when people say things like that, they get on TV and they just, they use that circular, what do we have to, I believe she's telling the truth because she's telling the truth. What the fuck was that? Really? I believe she was telling the truth because she's telling the truth. And the sad part is that you got a lot of these fucking idiots out here going, yeah, she's telling the truth because she's telling the truth. How about she's telling the truth because she's got evidence? Or how about this? She's telling the truth because she has incontrovertible evidence that this happened. No, she's got hearsay, innuendo. Nobody's backing her up. But we'll see this morning. We will see this morning. Shark in the Basement. Out. Find me on Twitter at Shark of Truth. Peace.